So to use it like this, or to use it like this, or to use WordPress like this, you have to set some configurations. Because WordPress comes pre-configured to do, where did Live Simply Rural go? WordPress comes pre-configured to do Live Simply Rural, but you have to make changes to it in order to make it like Dendron or London Translations or Jackie Jacobson. Oh, there it went. Okay, so what we're going to do here then is take this bootcamp.com and make it so that it is only a static site. And we're going to do that. The main thing that you do in that case is, well, first we have to create a couple of pages. We're going to talk about creating pages in a little while, but sometimes you can't learn things linearly, and we have to create a couple of pages in order for us to do this. The first page we're going to create is our home page. We're just going to call it home. We can call it anything, right? It's just the title of the page. All we're going to do is create it. We're not going to put any content on it yet. And then we're going to add another one, and we're going to call it blog. And now that we've created those two pages, now we can come back over to our reading settings. And now we're at our front page displays. So by default, it says front page displays your latest posts. Well, for a standard small business website, you don't want your front page to display your latest post, right? It's fine for a blog, but that's not what you want for like Dendron or anything else. So what you do is you say, I want to display a static page, and then you have to choose the page you want to use as a static page. So we created this page called home, so we'll use that one. Doesn't matter what you call it. It could be anything. So it doesn't matter what you call this page. I just chose to call it home for simplicity's sake. And then you have to choose a posts page. And so we're going to choose the blog as our post page. Now, we're not going to use this post page, but WordPress won't function properly if it doesn't know where to display posts if you're using the posts. So we have to tell it what its post page is going to be. We don't ever have to use it. And in fact, some themes will let you mark it so that it's no index and no follow, so that it doesn't show up on your site. It doesn't show up in a Google search, won't show up in a sitemap, that kind of stuff. You can definitely exclude it from certain things, but it still has to exist. If it doesn't exist, WordPress chokes. Now, that's the same for other things too, associated with blog posts, right? Something I see beginners do that does not work well is they come into their posts and they delete this post. You can delete this post as long as you create another one, but WordPress chokes if there's not at least one post, one page, and one category. Right, so it starts off with a hello world post. It starts off with an uncategorized category. And it starts off with a sample page. You can delete those as long as you have replaced them with something else. But WordPress will not function properly if it has no posts, if it has no categories, or if it has no pages. Okay? So that's something to consider when you're working on this kind of stuff. You think to yourself, I hate blogs. I don't want to do anything with a blog. Fine. Don't do anything with it. But don't delete those things because WordPress will stop functioning if you do that. And Ray, we will go back and show you how to create a new blog post here in a little while. Although, in answer to that question, creating a blog post is just as easy as creating a page. All you do is come over here to posts and say add new. And, you know, here's my new post. That's it. That's all there is to it. You don't have to put anything in it. You don't have to do anything with it. All you have to do is just do that. And when we did that, now it says, here's my new post. And I could come over and delete this then. Okay, so, and that's really all that we had to do. Once we did that, and you come back over to my site now, let's see, where am I? Genesis crash course. Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to come over here to Bootcamp and visit the site. Now you can see it's not showing me the blog posts. Now I have to go to the blog page in order to see the blog posts. But if I go to my home page, I'm not going to see the blog posts. Okay? Now I see whatever content I put on my home page, which is why Dendron can show this stuff on his home page, because he has a static front page as his home page. That's why London Translations has their home page that looks like this, right? It's because they've chosen to use a static front page as their, or static page as their front page in those settings, in the reading settings in WordPress settings. Ed asks, so is there no such page as home HTML? No, there is no such page as home HTML. In fact, there is no such thing as page anything HTML on WordPress. Now you can pretend. I saw guys who really don't know what they're talking about, but suggest that you can increase your SEO by adding HTML after the name of your page. You can't actually do that by faking it, but in fact there are no files that are displayed, right? This is not a file, right? If we go look at her post, there is no file called baked beet chips, right? This is dynamically created from the database by taking the content that she has here out of the database and inserting it into a template and then generating a page called baked beet chips. But there is no such file as bakedbeetchips.html. And that's the same for absolutely every page that WordPress creates. There is never an HTML file that contains this data. It's created by data that's stored in the database and that is assembled in templates and is dynamically created. That's why they refer to WordPress as dynamic websites.